construction of a medical training college in Saku constituency. And the other statement will be sought from the Standing Committee on Health also for the status of construction of level 4 hospital in Sololo town, Marsabit County. The Senator for Kisumu County, Senator Professor Tom Ojenda, will seek a statement from the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations regarding misuse of firearms by officers of the Kenya Wildlife Service in Kisumu County. The Senator for Kisumu will also seek statements from the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources. The first statement concerns the status of construction of Korusoin Dam, and the other statement that he will seek from the Standing Committee on Land concerns the threat to human life and the destruction of farm crops by hippopotamus in the paddy fields of West Kano irrigation scheme in Kisumu County. The Senator for Kirinyaga County will seek two statements. If you're just joining us, the business of the Senate is about to begin. There is some activity at the door, and I will now hand you over for these live proceedings, which have been made available by the Parliamentary Broadcasting Unit in conjunction with the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation.
Let's play. Almighty God, we beseech you to build with your abundant favor and blessings as your servants whom you have been pleased to call to leadership positions in this republic. We seek guidance to treat and consider all matters that shall come under deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to advance the peace, prosperity and welfare of our country and of those whose interests you have committed to our charge. Amen. I, Honorable Senators, want to confirm whether we have quorum. Clerk, kindly advise. So, can they ring the bell, quorum bell for 5 minutes?
Good Good afternoon. If you're just joining us, there is a lack of quorum at the moment, so the Senate business cannot begin. The quorum needed is 15 members to be seated in the chambers to allow the Senate properly convene. But as we wait for quorum to be achieved, we'll take a look at the order of business this afternoon, where the debate on the adoption of the report of the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on the county government's additional allocations cash disbursement schedule for financial year 2022-2023 will resume. The debate was interrupted on Tuesday, 21st February 2023. Thereafter, the Senator for Homabay County, Senator Moses Kajwang, will move a bill here, the County Vocational Education and Training Bill, Senate Bill number 3 of 2022. This bill is scheduled for debate for the second reading. The other bills which are scheduled for debate for the second reading include the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 5 of 2022. The Natural Resources Benefit Sharing Bill, Senate Bills number 6 of 2022. Those bills have been lined up for debate for the second reading. Senator Gloria Roba will move a motion on the provision of free sanitary towels to end period poverty. The senator is concerned that period poverty, also referred to as the shadow pandemic, contributes to global and regional gender inequity, as women are forced to solicit help from men in order to satisfy a basic health need, with 10% of 15-year-old girls having sex to pay for sanitary products. Now, therefore, the Senate resolves that the Ministry of Public Service, Gender and Affirmative Action, in partnership with the Ministry of Education and the Council of Governors, to 1. Facilitate the provision of feminine hygiene products in all public schools. 2. Ensure that all schools that don't have bathrooms that facilitate privacy, cleanliness, or proper disposal of hygiene products are properly equipped. And 3. Create awareness and take advocacy measures on reproductive health issues related to period poverty. 4. Include in the curriculum a dedicated lesson per week to teach girls on menstrual hygiene. And 5. Ensure that sanitary products will be obtainable timely, consistently, and in a way that respects the dignity of concerned persons. That motion will be moved by the Honorable Senator Gloria Oroba. Senator Mohammed Chute will move a motion in the Senate on the institution of measures to curb incessant high electricity costs in Kenya. The senator is concerned that private power generating companies, popularly referred to as independent power producers, only supply 28% of power to KPLC, but account for 47% of power purchases costs, calling for the need to enhance energy management in Kenya. Now, therefore, the Senate resolves that the Standing Committee on Energy to undertake an inquiry into 1. Contract signed by the IPPS, that is the independent power producers, detailing the cost, capacity, and duration of the contractual agreements and the implications on affordability of electricity in the country. 2. The Standing Committee on Energy to undertake an inquiry into discrepancy in the cost of electricity to Kenya Power by KenGen, imports from Ethiopia and IPPS. And 3. The diversion of the electricity generated by Lake Turkana wind power to the national grid by passing the inadequately supplied northern frontier counties of Marsabit and Samburu. And also the Senate resolves,
let's transact the business of the day.
Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Honorable Senators, I would like to acknowledge the presence in the Speaker's gallery this afternoon, a visiting delegation from Makwiny University Students Association, MUAC. The delegation comprises students who are in the Senate for a one-day visit. Honorable Senators, in our issue tradition of receiving and welcoming visitors to Parliament, I extend a warm welcome to them, and on behalf of the Senate and on my own behalf, wish them a fruitful visit. I thank you. Yes, there are a few comments that I want to welcome our visitors. I start with the Makwiny Senator, Senator Manzo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me an opportunity to welcome the student leaders, whom Mr. Speaker lead close to 2,000 students in different universities in the Republic of Kenya. They have been here since morning. They had an opportunity to be taken around the procedures of Parliament, what happens here. I also had a session with the students so that, Mr. Speaker, I can be able to role model them in one or two political matters. Mr. Speaker, a part of these student leaders are also in a program called AYLF, whereby under the tutorship of the National Prayer Breakfast, we usually mentor young university leaders into good leadership of the future. Most of them end up in attachments with the governors. We have a program whereby they can be mentored, they can be attached, they can go into entrepreneurship, those who wish to go to companies, those who are reading something to do with that effect. We also take them, quite a number of them, to national prayer breakfast in different countries. We went with some of the leaders to the US recently, and one or two who is here have traveled on a different program to South Africa, so that we expose our students to future leadership, to good mentorship, they can be able to be very good leaders in the future. I had an opportunity, Mr. Speaker, let me finish on this one, to hire...
Sorry, Honorable Senator Manzo, yes. I am not happy with the sound. Maybe the technical team can improve on the sound, kindly.
Yes, sir. So I had an opportunity to mentor quite a few. One of university leaders became my personal assistant, and later on was elected as a member of the County Assembly of Makwiny. We have Honorable Kagusha of Nyeri, who was the speaker for Nyeri under this program, and now is a member of Parliament for Mukuruni, and is part of our team which is mentoring other young leaders. We have quite a number of them who have become leaders of majorities in different county assemblies, and we therefore encourage other counties and other student leaders from different parts of the country to visit Parliament and be mentored by their leaders, and also be of good support to their leaders during the campaigns. I thank you, Mr. Speaker. I welcome them to follow the proceedings so that they can know what happens in this house. I thank you.
Okay, Senator William Cheptumo, Kolil.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I wish to also join my colleague to welcome the student leaders in this house. Mr. Speaker, several years ago, some of the members of this house were in the position the current leaders of students were actually in the universities. And Mr. Speaker, the fact that they are now leaders in the universities is already an indication that this will be our future senators, our future members of parliament, our future ministers. And I really want to encourage them to be very vigilant, work hard in their studies, be responsible, so that, Mr. Speaker, as this leadership now, our age as we retire in some years to come, we will have leaders who are going to lead our country. It is a moment that you have to really prepare your life through education and leadership in the university and institutions, Mr. Speaker, is really a good indication that these are responsible citizens. I want to welcome them to the House to learn and to see what happens in Senate, and I believe they will be inspired by the debate in this House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Esther Nyeni Okenyuri.
Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also want to support Senator Maanzo's sentiments in welcoming the student leaders from Makwiny. As you also know, I'm a former student leader, was a student leader in Masai Mara University. So I'm a product of the university leadership breeding so that you transit to national politics. I would also want to encourage the female student leaders to also take up these positions. Positions will not follow you from your comfort zone. You have to come out, display what you are able to offer to this country, and surely people who subscribe to such kind of thinking will bring you to this space where we are in. I also welcome you to the Kenya Young Parliamentarians Association for more partnerships, so that you acquaint yourselves with what young legislators are doing in both houses of the Senate and the National Assembly. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, the majority leader, Senator Cherio Talon.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for giving me this chance. I want to join the rest of my colleagues in welcoming the students who are here today. I think Senator Essie has captured it quite well by reminding them that many of the leaders that you see here, chances are they began their leadership training right from university or even earlier, yours truly included. And therefore, they're in the right track by ensuring that you practice your leadership skills early enough, learn about the beauty of our country, the diversity, the challenges of leading. You know, universities, once you're a leader at the university, Mr. Speaker, you're already a national leader, because all these our universities take students from basically every part of the country. And when they grant you an opportunity to lead, it means they have identified your leadership skills early in the day. I hope that they will get a fruitful engagement with the leadership of the Senate and those that they wish to interact with, so that they can learn as much as possible, know the history of Parliament and the things that we need to do. Mr. Speaker, one final thing is a challenge that I've seen Commissioner Joyce Korir walk in. One of the things that I regret that we were not able to achieve during our time when I served at PSC is to establish Parliament Museum. There have been enough papers that have been written about it, and that's one of the projects which, unfortunately, for reasons beyond our control, we're not able to set it up. One of the things that these students who visit Parliament, whether they be university students, high school students, or primary, should be able to benefit from, which is something you've seen. If you go to the Lok Sabha in India, even in Westminster, and all established older democracies than ours, you first visit the Parliament Museum, so that you get to know the history when Parliament was founded, who have served in various leadership positions, what is bicameralism as is the state right now. You have a 10, 15, 20 minutes tour before coming to the chamber to watch this thing happen live. So I want to challenge our colleagues who serve in PSC during this current session of theirs, to ensure that that dream we had, and many others before us have had, of establishing Parliament Museum is set out, so that students can learn more other than just visiting us in the House. So welcome to the students. I wish you a fruitful engagement during your visit here to Parliament. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Majority Leader. Let's have a comment from the Chair Education. Senator Ngugi Nyutu Joseph.
Asante Bwana Spika, wacha na mimi nichukue fursa hii ili niwakaribishe viongozi wa chama cha wanafunzi katika chuo cha Makwiny, na kama walivyotangulia kusema wenzangu, niseme kwamba hii ni nyumba ambamo watajifunza mengi, na ni nyumba ambayo wenyewe wanajadiliana kwa amani, na kwa hivyo wakitoka hapa ni kwamba wakirudi katika chuo chao wawe ni watu wanaweza kusikiliza wengine, wawe ni watu wanaweza kusikiliza wasimamizi wa chuo na wanafunzi wenzao, na ikiwa kwamba kuna jambo ambalo litakuwa na mkinzano, wawe kwamba wanaweza kulisuluhisha kwa kuzungumza kwa amani. Na kwa hiyo sina mengi, Bwana Spika, ni kuwakaribisha huku kama alivyo karibishwa na wenzangu, na niwaambie kwamba hili ni jumba nzuri, watajifunza mengi ambayo wataenda nayo na wafunze wenzao ambao hawakuja nao. Asante Bwana Spika.
Asante. Nikitumia hiyo lugha umetumia, ningependa tukimalizia. Bwana Senator Maanzo ni rafiki yangu na tumejuana kutoka mwaka wa 2013 wakati tuliingia bunge la taifa, na ningeomba kuambia hawa wanafunzi wa Makueni wakifuata maadili na heshima na ufanyikazi na uadilifu wa Senator Maanzo wataenda mbali. Senator Hester umewashauri akina ndanda wale wako pale vile wataendelea vizuri, na pia ningependa kuambia wanaume pia mambo mbele iko ngumu, wanawake wameanza kutupita, kwa hivyo pia wanjikakamue kabisa ndio waweze kuendeleza mambo yao. Therefore, Senators, I want also to recognize another group in the public gallery on visiting teachers and students from Wanjoi Mixed Secondary School, Nyandarua County. Honorable Senators, in the public gallery we have 28 students accompanied by 23 teachers from Wanjoi Mixed Secondary School, Kipipiri constituency in Nyandarua County, who are in the Senate on an education tour. Honorable Senators, in our usual tradition of receiving and welcoming senators to Parliament, I extend a warm welcome to them, and on behalf of the Senate and on my own behalf, wish them a fruitful visit. Thank you. Senator for Nyandarua, where are you? Okay, I give you this first opportunity to welcome your guests.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir. And thank you for giving me an opportunity to welcome our students from Wanjohi Mixed Secondary School. For those who may not know where Wanjohi is in Kipipiri constituency, currently represented by a member of parliament called Wanjiku Amuhia, the only elected woman member of parliament from Nyandarua. Mr. Speaker, sir, as I welcome them here, I would also want to commend them for their exemplary performance in the last national exam. Wanjohi Mixed performed very well, and their principal, Mr. Francis, is seen to be doing some very good job there. Finally, Mr. Speaker, so that we are able to transact the other businesses that we have here, Mr. Speaker, I would want to encourage the students from Wanjohi. I have been there, Mr. Speaker, when they were doing the prayers for their candidates last year. And Mr. Speaker, I would want to encourage them, just as I told them when I visited their school, that when they look at me standing at the Senate of Kenya, speaking to them as their senator, is a big inspiration to them that they can go and they can achieve anything that they would ever want to achieve. Any of them who wants to become a doctor, the dream is within their own hands. They should work hard, and we are there as government to support them. I just spoke to a member of parliament. If any of them has any challenge with their school fees, the government will be there to support them so that they become useful Kenyans in the days to come. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Senator. And the government is the Senator, is you. You are the government. And I'm happy that you are one of the bottom-up senators that we have in this house. So your encouragement is very quite in order. Let us have also one encouragement from Senator William Cheptumo. is a veteran leader in Parliament. Senator Cheptumo.
Okay. Mr. Speaker, I just want to join my chair, Lance, who is also the Senator Nyandarua, to welcome the students to this house. Mr. Speaker, many years ago, as I said earlier, all these members were students at some point. And some of us never got a chance to visit Parliament when we were in primary or secondary school, Mr. Speaker. And for them who have been able to have a chance to be here, Mr. Speaker, I think it is really inspiring. Then more so where the senator has some personal touch, even with the institutions which are visiting this place, Mr. Speaker. I would like to encourage them to continue to work very hard in their studies. The only way, Mr. Speaker, they can be guaranteed of a better future is when they excel in their studies and make their way up to leadership, like now when we are here in this house. Mr. Speaker, we know there are many challenges facing students. One of the challenges they face them is school fees, Mr. Speaker. And sometimes they have a challenge of being in school. Mr. Speaker, some of us, including myself, when I was in secondary school, we used not to have, fees to pay. But through hard work, Mr. Speaker, fundraisers by the public and so on, I was able to finish my secondary school education. I want to encourage those who are from humble backgrounds that they should work hard even more so that in future they are able to excel, get a job, employ others, and be able to be useful in our society. Mr. Speaker, I just want to welcome them to the House, and I'm sure they will be inspired to see their senator here, and indeed yourself as the Speaker and the rest of the members of this House, Mr. Speaker. I welcome them.
Thank you, Senator Cheptumo. Most of the students maybe they are aspiring to be professors, others lawyers. So let us hear from Professor Tom Ojenda, who is an distinguished senior counsel in this republic. Inspire the students, Professor.
Mr. Speaker, sir, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to address students from various institutions, some from the university leadership, others from other levels of learning. And Mr. Speaker, sir, I would wish to say this afternoon that coming to Senate is not just a beginning of inspiration to the work in legislation for those who have interest in elective politics, but also the learning of how our institutions work. The majority leaders referred to various experiences out there, and ours being a bicameral system where you have the National Assembly and the Senate is a system that should inspire because it has inherent in it checks and balances that I'm sure those who come to Senate want to learn about. It is also an opportunity, Mr. Speaker, sir, to also see how Senate engages in legislation and in dealing with questions that, in a manner that is bipartisan, because you have a leadership both on the majority side and the minority side. And I think it is good, Mr. Speaker, sir, that this culture of students coming to Senate be encouraged because it is a beginning of learning, and when you begin to learn and when you understand how our institutions work, then as a student you also get inspired to study. I only urge those visiting Senate this afternoon to aspire to do their best so that in the future they can look back and see where it all began. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you, Professor Ojeda. You know, this house has two professors, and I'll be very unfair if I also don't recognize Professor Margaret Kamar, Deputy Speaker Emeritus, also to give a word of counsel to our students. Professor Margaret Kamar.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to join my colleagues in welcoming the students, and the student leaders. First, I want to tell the students, as we welcome them, that the future is very bright in this country. But it is bright for those who work hard. It is bright for those who concentrate and do what must be done when you are a student. The time of being a student is so limited. Basic education in Kenya is recognized from PP1 to Form 4. And the period is so limited that if you waste it, you lose it. I want to wish you well and to tell you that you are very fortunate to have come to a Senate. Some of us, when we were students, there was nothing to inspire us because coming to Parliament was a no-go zone. But now you can come and see your leaders, you can come and see your members of Parliament, you can see where people came from. So, and all these members in this house were actually students like yourselves. So I want to encourage the students that as you go, work hard, stay focused, and the sky is the limit. For the student leaders, Mr. Speaker, I'm happy to welcome them because I worked in the university for 21 years over, and in those days, in my time in the university, we saw students who were A students, Mr. Speaker, go back to zero because they come to the university and it is like they came for the sake of the parents. So they seem to be working for the parents instead of working for themselves. I want to ask the student leaders, because you are the leaders, you have been trusted by the other students, that you must be the role models of those students. That you should be the ones who are leading, not just in the affairs of the students, but also in the academic part of leadership. So we want to encourage you that actually the beginning of leadership has started for you. The beginning is already on. If you look at this Senate, we have senators who are student leaders. If they give you their CVs, you'll be shocked that their leadership started in university, in colleges, and some in high schools. So you have been given an opportunity by the students who have given you. But let me tell you, the hallmark of all this is self-discipline. If you are not self-disciplined, you'll face a committee that Professor Kamar chaired for 8 years in the university, where I was shocked to find that as you discipline, I was chairing disciplinary committee, by the way, and I was shocked that an A student who did not need money can be influenced to even go and steal a book from another student. So I want to encourage you that as leaders, discipline is the first thing. Number two, I said you are going to be the role models. And I want to request you that you are the Kenyans we are waiting for. You are the Kenyans of tomorrow. Our time is running out age-wise, and we're expecting you to take care of this country beyond this. So personal discipline and charting a way for yourself and for your families. Please never study for your parents. Study for yourself. I know you know this because you're already in leadership. But if you don't use your leadership well, you will not reach where leaders like Senator Orengo, who is now our governor, was, because he was in the same position that you are in now. Apart from most of these members, I can tell you that half of these members were leaders from high school, as I had said earlier. So we want to wish you well and to tell you that you have been given an opportunity by the other students to lead them, practice it fairly, practice it with justice, practice with integrity, because your integrity begins from where you are. Mr. Speaker, I thank you.
Lastly, Senator Wakoli Wafula. 2 minutes, kindly.
Sana Mr. Speaker, kwa kunipa nafasi hii kutoa hoja zangu na kongole kwa viongozi wa vyuo vikuu kutoka sehemu ya Ukambani. Vile vile naona vipusa wa shule ya upili ambao wamekuja kujionea kwa macho jinsi jumba la weledi wa kutunga sheria, weledi wa kuchanganua masuala ya siasa, weledi wa kuchanganua masuala ibuka katika nchi ya Kenya, na jumba ambalo palipo wazee hapaharibiki neno, na palipo vijana chipukizi wazee hutoa jasho. Hivi kwamba ni kuambia viongozi wa vyuo vikuu ambao wako hapa kwamba nyinyi ni kielelezo ama mfumo wa kizazi kipya cha viongozi ambao kwao lazima muelekeze wenzenu kwamba nchi hii haihitaji kutuambia unatoka uko upi ama unashiriki dini ipi. Cha muhimu ni kile kilicho kichwani mwako na Mungu unayemwamini. Mwanariadha shupavu Kipchoge alisema, mtu hatimiliki, mtu hana kikomo, cha muhimu ni nia na penye njia. Sasa nyinyi wanafunzi wa vyuo vikuu, mimi wenu vile vile nilikuwa nimejitwika ganzu la kuwa kiongozi katika bewa la Laikipia kule Nyahururu, na vile vile katika shule ya upili niliposoma na bullfighter Boni Khalwale. Sasa tunataraji kwamba yale ambayo yanayokumu nyinyi kama kuimarishwa kwa karo ya vyuo vikuu, nendeni mjipange, mlete hoja zenu hapa kwa bunge, mtueleze mbona hamtaki tuinue gharama ya chuo kikuu, na sisi wenu tutawatetea kama wasomi katika jumba la seneti. Mimi ni mwalimu wa chuo shule ya upili. Nafurahia sana nikiona walimu wenzangu mnaleta wanafunzi hapa ili kujionea na kuelewa kwamba hatima yako iko mikononi mwako, na uamuzi utakaochukua kutoka sasa utakuelekeza kule ambako unataka. Mheshimiwa Spika, nashukuru kwa fursa ulionipa na kuwatakia kila laheri wanafunzi wa vyuo vikuu na wale wa shule ya upili, na mjivunie kwa Kenya, mjivunie katika jumba la seneti. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika.
Asante sana Seneta wa Bungoma, lakini kuna methali moja umebuni leo sijasikia tena, panapo vijana chipukizi wazee hutoa jasho. Mpaka nimeona seneta wa Kakamega ameanza kutoa jasho kabla hata vijana waanze kuchangamka. Honorable Senators, have another communication on the visiting. I can see, Honorable Senators, you are almost forgetting the rules of the House. Communication on visiting teachers and students from St. Anne, Gitubangao Secondary School, Kirinyaga County. In the public gallery, we have 49 students accompanied by 3 teachers from St. Anne, Gitubangao Secondary School in Kirinyaga County who are in the Senate on an education tour. Minority Linda. In our ancient tradition of receiving and welcoming visitors to Parliament, I extend a warm welcome to them, and on behalf of the Senate and on my own behalf, wish them a fruitful visit. I thank you. Senator Kirinyaga County, Senator Murango.
Asante sana mstahiki Spika, na kama mwenyekiti wa Kiswahili kitukuzwe katika Afrika Mashariki na jangwa la Sahara, ni vizuri nifanyie Kiswahili haki kwa kuwakaribisha wanafunzi wa kutoka shule ya St. Anne Gitumba, na ningetaka kusema kwamba St. Anne shule moja maana sana kutoka Kirinyaga, na ningetaka kuambia kwamba wanafunzi kama mimi niko hapa pia wao wanaweza fika hapa. Nimesikia pia kwa hapa kuna wanafunzi viongozi wanafunzi kutoka chuo kikuu Makueni. Mimi sikufanikiwa kuwa kiongozi katika chuo kikuu, lakini mimi nilikuwa kiranja katika darasa la samba, na kwa hivyo nadhani hata ni uongozi. Na nataka kusema ya kwamba pia nafasi ambayo wanafunzi wako nayo saa hii ni muhimu sana, kwa sababu pia kuwa na nafasi ya kuja katika seneti kujionea venye mambo inafanyika ni jambo zuri sana katika venye watajipanga kwa maisha yajayo. Na niseme ya kwamba saa hii hatusemi viongozi ni wa kesho, saa hii tunasema viongozi ni wa sasa hivi. Na hiyo inadhirika wazi ukiangalia viongozi ambao wako hapa katika seneti. Kwa hivyo Mstahiki Speaker, ningetaka niwakaribishe wanafunzi wa St. Anne na niwaambie kwamba kila kitu inaweza fanyika. Asante sana Mstahiki Speaker.
Asante sana. We also have visiting teachers and students from Pioneer Girls Secondary School from Murang'a County. In the public gallery, we have 61 students accompanied by 5 teachers from Pioneer Girls Secondary School in Murang'a County who are in the Senate on an occasion tour. Honorable Senators, in our issued tradition of receiving and welcoming visitors to Parliament, I extend a warm welcome to them, and on behalf of the Senate and on my own behalf, wish them a fruitful visit. Senator
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to welcome students of Pioneer Girls Secondary School in Murang'a County, which I represent in the Senate. And I want to tell them that I'm also a teacher. That is my profession. And when I talk to students, Mr. Speaker, that is a fish in water, because that is what I've done all my days before I came here. I want to tell them that the choice that they made to come to the Senate today, I think I want to congratulate their teachers who have accompanied them here, and thank you for making that choice. Like all the speakers before me, I think I want to tell them that they should work hard when they go back to school. They should respect their teachers and parents when they go home, but most importantly, that they should watch how we conduct our business here, Mr. Speaker, so that, because like they have been told, when they become leaders tomorrow, and my friend from Kirinyaga, Senator Murango, said that we don't have leaders for tomorrow, we have leaders for today, that they should lead by example like we are doing here, that they should be very sober as they are going to see us doing here, and that Mr. Speaker, the future is very bright, but like Professor Kamar said, only for those that will work hard and work smart. So Mr. Speaker, I think I want to stop there and wish our girls from Pioneer Secondary School in Murang'a all the best in their future endeavors. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable Senators, I have another communication to make this afternoon regarding changes in the leadership of the Senate Minority Coalition. Honorable Senators, as you may recall at the sitting of the Senate held yesterday, Tuesday, 21st February 2023, and delivered a communication on the matter of the proposed changes in the leadership of the minority party. As you further recall, I informed the House that the Honorable Speaker of the Senate, and being served with interim orders of injunction, I must make the communication, then I'll give you time to respond to the communication. There is no point of order. I'm making my communication as the Speaker. You mean I'm out of order when I'm making my communication? Minority leader, we cannot run the business of this House the way you want us to do. Yes, I'm making my communication. I'll give you time to speak to it. I can give you even 3 hours, but I must make my communication with the Speaker of this House. I cannot respect the chair, Honorable Minority Leader, with due respect. I continue. I informed the House that the Honorable Speaker of the Senate had been served with interim orders of injunction from the Political Parties Disputes Tribunal in Political Party Disputes Tribunal number PPDTC stroke E003 stroke 2023, which is under Fatuma and Anduro and Jubilee Party of Kenya versus Azimio la Umoja, One Kenya Coalition Party, in which the Speaker of the Senate is joined as the third interested party. As indicated, the matter is scheduled for mention before the tribunal on 20th February 2023 at 2:30 p.m. to confirm compliance of the further directions. Honorable Senators, in the circumstances, I must make my communication, and then, who is out of order now? Who is out of order? I must make the communication, then I'll give all senators time. Honorable Senators, in the circumstances, and taking into account the provisions of Article 3, 10, and 159 of the Constitution, which among other things bring all persons to respect, uphold and defend the Constitution, and to adhere to the rule of law, I defend the delivery of the communication in this matter, pending the outcome of the proceedings that are before the Political Parties Disputes Tribunal on the vocation of the orders issued by the tribunal. And the delivery of the communication, I allowed a number of senators to rise to points of order regarding the matter at hand. Senator Edwin Sifuna, in speaking to the matter, raised a number of issues, but specifically saw the further guidance of the chair in respect of one particular matter. The senator stated that he had the opportunity to obtain and peruse a copy of the order issued by the tribunal, and that in his view, a plain reading of the order reviewing that the matters before the tribunal were limited to the question of the seat of the minority whip. He stated that the matter of the seat of the minority whip was not a matter before the tribunal and was therefore not covered by the order of the tribunal. Senator Sifuna asked the chair to separate matters that were not covered by the order issued by the tribunal and to therefore give directions on the matter of the seat of the Deputy Senate Minority Whip. Honorable Senators, I undertook to give further directions on the matter raised by Senator Sifuna. As I stated in the communication that I delivered yesterday, the Political Parties Disputes Tribunal issued, amongst others, the following order: that pending inter-parties hearing and the determination of the application, interim orders of injunction are hereby issued, restraining the respondent and interested parties, either by themselves, their servants, agents, or any other persons acting on their behest from implementing the communication and resolution by the respondents, particularly Parliamentary Group meeting held on 14th February 2023, purporting to remove the first applicant and other members of Jubilee Party from the position of Senate Minority Whip and parliamentary committees and its attendant privileges, respectively. Honorable Senators, it is clear that the scope. Honorable Senators, I will make this communication to the end. The powers bestowed to the Senate, I will make this communication, and then I will give you opportunity to make your interjections. Honorable Senators, it is clear that the scope of the order extends to the position of the Senate Minority Whip and members of Jubilee Party of Kenya. I will continue. Honorable Senators, Honorable Senators, Honorable Senators, Honorable Senators, it is clear that the scope of the order extends the position of the Senate Minority Whip and members of the Jubilee Party of Kenya. The order injuncts the respondent and the interested parties, one of whom is the Speaker of the Senate, from taking an injunction purporting to remove the Senate Minority Whip and members of the Jubilee Party from the position of Senate Minority Whip and Parliament committees. The order makes no mention of the position of Deputy Senate Minority Whip. Honorable Senators, with due respect, this is a communication I was requested to make today, and I will make it to the last full stop. I will make it to the last full stop. I will make it to the last full stop.
The Speaker, listen to members. We respect you, listen to speakers, but listen to us. You are here to say...
I'm making a communication. I make the communication, then I'll give you that opportunity. What is the communication? It is clear. I revoke standing order number 123, 122, and undo that. You have to phone the Senator. Deputy Minority Leader, you have to phone. I'm on the seat and you cannot pretend. Honorable Senators, you requested, I don't want, you can't approach me. This is a communication requested, and I'll give you the way it is. Yes, I'll give you the communication.
Wenda, Meridwe.
This house must be led by standing orders. And when a speaker is making his communication and you are not giving the speaker time to communicate, I want to order, according to standing order 122, the following senators out of the chamber for the next 3 days. For the next 3 days. Senator Wambua, Enoch, the minority leader, Senator Mazayo, Senator Renda Morekina, and Senator Enoch. I order you out of the chamber. I have sent the 4 senators to leave, and as they leave, I suspend the sitting for 15 minutes.